$1.2 million annual salary is being offered just to guard this lighthouse. Do you have the courage to take up this job? There will be no boss to keep an eye on you while you work here. You can sleep whenever you feel like it. Wake up at your leisure, enjoy the view, or go fishing. Your job will simply be to ensure that the light on top of the lighthouse is working properly. That's it. Just this task. And you'll earn $1.2 million to ensure the light works properly. But unfortunately, the good news ends here. And the bad news is that this is the most dangerous job in the world. Guarding the Juman Lighthouse. The lighthouse is located in the middle of the ocean. Before you send in your CV for this job, you should know that no one will talk to you there. You'll experience loneliness on all sides. And the most dangerous thing is that this area experiences extremely severe storms. The stormy waves here rise tens of meters high and crash against the tower. In this job, there's a risk to your life. This picture was taken during a rescue operation. It clearly shows how the lighthouse keeper was surrounded by the storm. If the stormy waves had completely covered the lighthouse, his life could have been in danger. Knowing all this, do you still have the courage to apply for this job? By the way, after hearing about this strange job, you might wonder why this lighthouse was built in the first place and why it's so important to keep its light burning at all times. To understand this, we need to look at how lighthouses began. This dates back to ancient times when there were no roads or vehicles for travel. The best way to travel long distances was by water. There was a man named Captain Marcius, a remarkable sailor known for his daring sea journeys. An incident was about to happen with him. Ships in those days were made of wood. One night, Captain Marcius was passing through a very dark area of the sea. Beneath the water were large rocks, and his ship collided with them. The ship got a hole, capsized, and he suffered heavy losses. After this incident, Captain Marcius thought there must be some solution to this problem that could warn sailors about such dangers. Now, that was one problem. Another issue is understanding the sheer size of the ocean. The Pacific Ocean, for instance, is so vast that even if we combined all the land in the world, including all 7 continents, the Pacific Ocean would still be bigger. To get an idea of how huge it is, imagine if we placed 5 moons in this area. The Pacific would still be larger. Back in the old days, when sailors traveled across this open water, they had no idea how far the next land was or where it was located. Navigation was the biggest challenge of that time. There was no GPS or advanced system to guide them on their journey. GPS wasn't invented until 1973 and wasn't available to the public until 1978. Sailors had to rely on the sun, stars, and some early navigation tools to cross the endless ocean. Due to the lack of navigation, sailors often faced dangers, like what happened to Captain Alice. While crossing the Pacific Ocean with his crew, clouds covered the stars at night, making it impossible to navigate. A violent storm hit the area, causing them to lose their way. By morning, they were lost in the open ocean. The crew had neither food nor water left. Hunger and thirst took a toll on them. You probably know that ocean water is undrinkable due to its high salt content and can even lead to death. Despite being surrounded by water, they were thirsty. Many crew members died before Captain Alice finally found land, where they stopped. Now, the world's first lighthouse was about to be built in Egypt, near the Mediterranean Sea, at the ancient city of Alexandria. Its ruler, Ptolemy II Philadelphus, faced a significant problem due to the location of his kingdom. If you look at this picture carefully, you'll notice that ships had to pass through rocky waters to reach the city. At night, these rocks hidden beneath the water would destroy passing ships, causing them to sink along with their cargo, which led to massive losses for the kingdom. To address this, King Ptolemy called upon a brilliant architect, Sostratus of Cnidus, to find a solution. Together, they came up with a remarkable plan to build a massive light tower that would guide ships to safety and warn them of underwater dangers. With determination, Sostratus began the work, unaware that this creation would become one of the greatest engineering marvels of the ancient world, the Pharos of Alexandria. This lighthouse stood on the island of Pharos, shining brightly on Alexandria's shores. Its height was 384 feet, built with white marble. At the top, a large fire burned constantly, fueled by a steady supply of oil and wood. It was recognized as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. But it wasn't just its size that made it extraordinary. Its genius design included a system of mirrors and lenses that amplified the light, making it visible for miles. As news of its completion spread, sailors breathed a sigh of relief. Thanks to this lighthouse, they no longer had to navigate the rocky waters near Alexandria blindly. This first lighthouse became a symbol of safety for sailors and sparked the spread of the lighthouse concept worldwide. Initially, lighthouses were built along coastlines. However, as global trade expanded, lighthouses began appearing in the middle of busy sea trade routes, especially where underwater rocks posed significant threats to ships. Early lighthouses relied on fire, but that wasn't ideal as it required constant use of wood, oil, and coal. Later, candles, gas lamps, and oil lamps were introduced. With the invention of electricity and the light bulb, lighthouses transitioned to electric lights, which were brighter. Lighthouses use lenses to reflect light over long distances. In the 1800s, reflectors were placed behind the light source. But engineers realized that focusing the light through a lens in front would be more effective. However, thicker lenses reduced brightness. That's when French physicist and engineer Fresnel came up with a revolutionary solution. He made the lenses thinner and designed them to focus all the light in one direction. This innovation, known as Fresnel lenses, transformed lighthouses, allowing their light to be seen from miles away. Now, with these advancements, ships could easily detect dangers in the sea. So, the job I mentioned at the beginning, where you get $1.2 million to ensure that the light remains on, still seems appealing. Are you interested in taking up this job? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.